got a bunch of good news going on, and want to update everybody since I didn't get an update video all last week like I said I was gonna do, because I've just been tied up doing all different stuff. And as you guys can see, I am on the road again. So the picture, the thumbnail, is Minnie Mouse. She went into heat the other day, and of course all the boys wanted to make some babies, which I told her she's not allowed to make any babies right now. And she disappeared on me in the woods while I was working on fencing and couldn't find her. And when I went, I kept calling her. When I found her sitting back facing me. And when I went around, she had that baby goat nursing on her. And Minnie kept pushing the mom away, and I kept the baby there sucking on her nipples like she was the mama. So I went ahead and got that picture, which I thought was kind of cool, because that's the uniqueness of homesteading, is baby goat and Minnie Mouse. So I had Daria had the one baby boy goat. Hey Scott, I am going back home to Arkansas. I just got into Kansas. I went out to Colorado, and that's some other good news that's coming up, and I'll get to that in a moment. But Daria had the one baby. It's a little boy, and then several of the other goats, the udders were already popping. So when I get back to Arkansas, most likely I'm going to have a lot of other baby goats bouncing around. When that clock is ticking. Yep, you got that right. When that clock's ticking, everybody wants to have babies. And Minnie Mouse can't have babies right now. She's got to wait until her next cycle, because I like to give a year in between cycles, or a year in between having babies. So that way it's not too stressful on her body or anything like that. So come summertime, I've got several people lined up already again for puppies. So I'll go ahead and breed Minnie one more time for everybody that didn't get puppies that still wants puppies. And of course I got some new people that want puppies as well. So she'll get bred on her next cycle, which should be late spring, like May, June, somewhere in there. So I'll do that. The other really good news is, came out to Colorado yesterday. Had a heck of a time yesterday. Yesterday was a bad day. It started snowing, so I'm like, the transporter's not going to be able to get up there. Then I thought I was going to have to break in my camper trailer because I forgot the keys. Turns out the keys were in the door. I never even grabbed the keys the last time I left from these turn and burns. I just don't think. And so anyhow, the good news is, got the camels loaded. The camels are in transport with the transporter. He had one more pickup of some horses, and they should be out there by Sunday. So that will give me, I need one more day to finish wire tying the fence, which I'll go ahead and do a update video on what I got done the last past week, because I have not gone back up and worked on the driveway because I've been trying to get this pen done. So I'll go ahead and do an update video tomorrow on that, show you what I got done, hopefully knock the rest of it out tomorrow, and that way when the camels get here Sunday, get to Arkansas on Sunday, then everything's all set up for them. And then I'm actually going to tear down some fence that I've already put up, which everybody knows I do my fence dance, and I like to put up fence, tear down, and put it back up. But I've got a new idea on how I'm going to set up fencing on the homestead, and I'll go over all that as well in the video. And that will also get the animals, the cows, the horses, the source, everybody that has ate everything down to dirt. They'll have another section to go into now with the camels, and give a lot more space for them to run around, have some fun, and everything else. So the third good news is I got my tractor fixed. I had a mobile welder come out. He fixed the shaft piece that broke off. So I now have the different gears in my tractor. Oh, I'm already out of there, Pamela. I am in Kansas. I just crossed over into Kansas. So it was snowing like crazy up there. I'm glad to get out of Colorado. It was 16 degrees up at the ranch. And out here on the edge of Kansas is 30 degrees. So I don't have to worry about driving in snow no more. I'm going back to thaw out. But I got my tractor fixed. I got all the gears now. I can put it in low gear to use a backhoe to dig. So after I get this fencing done, then I'm gonna get in the bird pen and this new pen that I'm building and try to dig some shallow ponds for now, so that way any rains we have will start adding water to those to start the ponds. And then of course when I have the money to get the excavator, then I'll go ahead and dig the big deep ponds that will hold lots of water. So it's definitely good news. Now that the camels are out of there, I don't have to go back to Colorado until end of May, first part of June to clean up the ranch, haul a load of stuff to the dump, and then grab all my bed linens and other clothing and pots and pans and all that stuff from the shipping container that's sitting out there at the ranch. It's nothing I need right now. Hey James, how are you doing? Hope Overseas is treating you and everybody else well over there. But it's nothing that I need right now. So that's a good thing. I can start saving money instead of spending money on all these road trips and all this gas going back and forth. I can go ahead and work on fencing and pens and everything else. I'm also, I've got to go pick up some hay for the animals when I get back. And then after the fencing, and after fencing, I'm probably gonna do those makeshift shelters for now, because I need to get shelters set up for them. And then I'll work on the ponds, get hay, and then just continue doing the perimeter fencing and my new idea of fencing. And then probably get back to the driveway, because I want to get that done so I can start getting stuff moved up to the house site. And then at that point, once I have access to the house site, then I'll get everything moved up there. Once everything gets moved up there, then I can go ahead and start digging with my tractor for the footers for the house. And I'm actually now thinking of building a castle on the bluffs, since I'm going to be up there on the top of the mountain at 1,200 feet. Not as high as Colorado, but it is a 300-foot sheer drop-off. I have tons of rock on the property, so I'm thinking about doing the gabion walls, I think it's called, where you build thick wire baskets, fill it with rock, and I'll do insulation on the outside, so the rock's on the inside. So I would say winter time, but we really don't have winter in Arkansas. But the days that does get chilly, when I heat the inside of the house, the rocks will soak in that heat and then radiate. And I'll do stucco on the inside, and then I'll do stucco on the outside over top of the foam. So that way the house is well insulated come summer as well. And with all the rock is naturally cool. So summertime, the house will be a lot cooler. I don't have to worry about a air conditioner unit or anything like that. So that's what I've got planned going. And let me see what the chat's doing. I tell you, these people in Kansas, they don't do blinkers till the very last second. Can't even look at chat without them jumping like that. Yeah, Pan, that's definitely my Christmas present, is getting the camels back. I don't have to worry about animals being in two different locations, worry about driving back and forth to drop off feed, back and forth not knowing, you know, if I'm coming home to a bloodbath or anything like that. It's definitely going to be great to have them back. And then, of course, everybody knows I love my bear hugs with Caesar, the male camel. Just go up and wrap my arms around his legs. So be wonderful to have them back in Arkansas, so that way I see them every morning when I go out to see everybody. So if anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll cover some questions. Otherwise, I've got like another 11-12 hours of driving, so I've got a long time of driving. Kansas is an awful place to drive. Not as bad as Cali, but still bad. Never been to California, so I wouldn't know about California, but I do know about Kansas, as this is like my 19th or 20th trip going across Kansas just for this move. And then I used to have a moving company, so I drove through Kansas all the time. And yeah, I'd rather drive through Kansas at night, because then I can't just see miles and miles and miles of road and flat land. I can just drive in the darkness and know at one point I'll see some light, and that light is shining at Arkansas, saying welcome home. Yeah, I think the castle is going to be a good idea too. It's several reasons why I'm thinking of the castle. One, there's a couple houses on the mountains on the other side of the valley from me, so the downfall is I will be seeing houses where the ranch in Colorado where I was going to build, I wouldn't see a single house. So I will see some houses, which I'm not too worried about, because my focal point is actually not going to be looking out over the valley. My focal point is actually going to be in the front of the castle. I'm going to dig a huge pond in between a bunch of big oak trees I have up top, which I'll go over that in another video once I get everything cleared and get stuff moving up there. But I want to put in a big pond up there and bring some of the ducks and geese up there. I want to have the picnic table up there, bonfire sitting area, and that's going to be the focal point, is just sitting in front of the castle, watching the fire glow off the water and listening to the ducks and the geese. The reasons I'm thinking castle is, one, a lot of different people are going to see my house, and I can see everybody's houses. Nothing really looks unique. So I think having a castle is going to be, you know, something different everybody's going to see than everybody having the regular houses that everybody has right now. That's one thing, because as everybody knows, I'm an alien, so I'm unique. And if I knew how to build a spaceship, I'd be back on Mars. So I can't build a spaceship house, because that'd defeat the purpose. But being unique, the castle popped for me. The second thing that popped is there are some tornadoes that go through that area in St. Joe area since 1950, when they started recording, to last year. They have had 7 tornadoes go through. So that's another reason why I picked the St. Joe area, because there's very, very few tornadoes compared to other counties on the other side of me that get 4, 5, 6 times the amount of tornadoes that my county and my area has had. So having a castle with all the rock and the steel, then if a tornado ever did come that area, I don't have to worry as much about tornadoes, because it would be basically a castle, rock solid house. So that would keep me safe, keep animals safe. Third reason is because I'm in a hotter, wet climate. Having the rock on the inside and all the way through, it's going to keep the inside a lot cooler. That's another reason I'm thinking of castle, because if I do wood, no matter what, in wet climates, wood is going to rot eventually. So I don't have to worry about the upkeep, the maintenance. Only thing I would have to do is repaint the stucco every so many years or whatever, just to keep it looking nice. Another reason I'm thinking castle is because in castles, they always had a big center yard that they had, you know, they sold stuff and vendors and all that type of stuff inside the castle. And I'm thinking about in the center of the castle, I'm thinking the inside wall or the outside walls of the castle on the inside, looking into the center square, is going to be glass all the way around. So the inside of the castle house is going to be a big circle. So anywhere in the house, you'll be looking through the glass to the center of the castle yard. And then inside of that center castle yard is where I want to set up rows and rows and rows of hugelkultur beds. Because what better way of protecting a garden from deer and animals and wind and everything else than inside the castle walls? So then that way I can walk right out one of the doors from the kitchen, go right out into the garden, pick some fresh basil to make some pesto, pick some carrots and potatoes and everything to go with a stew. So that's another reason why I'm thinking the castle, because then I can have a big garden on the inside of the castle to protect from my animals, the wild animals, any wind, even though we don't really have wind out there. And then it's all right there at the kitchen. I don't have to go far or do anything like that. And then of course I can always get animal manure and all that and add to the beds in the winter. So then come springtime, it's ready to go again. And for those of you that don't know about hugelkultur, hugelkultur is an ancient technology of farming and gardening. And that's why England, Wales, Scotland, all them stay so green, because they have these big burns. And hugelkultur, you dig a trench, you put 4 to 8 feet deep of wood, logs, sticks, twigs, mulch, hay, grass clippings, leaves, and then you cover it with dirt. And as all that breaks down, the wood starts absorbing water like a giant sponge. So your roots of your plants want to go deeper and deeper, which make them very, very drought tolerant, unlike Americans where we just throw water on the surface of the ground and the roots are shallow. And then as everything decays, earthworms come in and help break stuff down, and that feeds your beds and waters your beds for 25 to 30 years, depending on how you build the beds. So hugelkultur is a really good way of gardening, and that's what I plan to do inside the castle walls, is rows and rows of hugelkultur beds, because that's 25 years. I don't have to add nothing to it, although I will add animal manure, like I said, in the fall going into winter, so that gives a little more pop for all the plants. But that's what I've got figured out so far. Yep, Caesar was a great hugger. Do you want to trade a hugging cow for a hugging camel? No, I've got 9 of my own cows, Pam. I'm not a crazy cow lady, but my cows let me give them hugs. And actually, a lot of the Scottish Highlanders are becoming more and more friendly, so I'm excited to have that too. Did you ever go see Bishop's Castle up by Westcliff? Oh yeah, I actually met Jim Bishop, and I was actually up there when he was building another wall up there, and he's done everything by hand. And the Bishop Castle thing didn't click in my head on building the castle. I thought about that afterwards, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to make a square circle, so you know, it would be square walls, make one big square and then a smaller square, and in between those two squares is going to be the inside of the house. And then, like I said, the center of the small square is going to be the garden area inside the castle. And then when you come out the front doors, I'll have the driveway that will be a circle shape, so it'll be a roundabout driveway, so I can pull right up to the castle and get out. And then right to the side of the castle in the front will be the big pond, the fire pit, the ducks, the geese, everything like that. And then I want to try to get some bamboo established up there and a couple other different things. So I'll get into all that. Light energy, I will drive safe. Actually, it is starting to rain. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's starting to rain right now. Luckily, I'm out of Colorado, so I'm out of all the snow, the slick roads. It was slippery up at the ranch. It snowed all the way till Fowler, Colorado. So I drove, about 3 hours with snow-packed roads and icy conditions. And now the farther east I go and south I go, it's just gonna get, there goes one of the dips that I just went up and down. But some of them boomers are glad that I didn't do any update videos last week, because I wouldn't have had a shirt on. And some of them boomers, they don't know how to handle a young alien stud. What part will be the space kebab? What's a space kebab? I don't know what a space kebab is. You have to tell me what that is. But no, it's going to be a long drive. But luckily, like I said, this last long drive I have, although I will be going out to Kansas to see my old neighbors, but they're only 3.5 hours away from the homestead. So a round trip there is still half of what one trip one way to Colorado is. So these road trips will be coming to an end. I don't have to worry about the animals anymore. I don't have to worry about all this waste of time of driving that I'm not getting anything done on the homestead. So you'll start seeing a lot more update videos and things going on the new homestead, because I will finally be able to get regular sleep schedule set up, get things moving, and get stuff built and going. For the house, like the Jetstone house, like the Jetsons house. I don't remember space kebab. You got to remember, Jetsons was before my time. I mean, I grew up watching the Jetsons, the Flintstones, the Smurfs, Tom and Jerry, all those type of shows, but only for a few years, because I was born in 1987. So space kebab, I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know if that's the transporters thing that you hop in and put you in the car or something like that, but I don't know. But no, I'm not doing anything space related for my house. I may be an alien, but see, that's a bunch of wise tales. Everybody thinks aliens all about space and all these different things, and aliens like to probe. We don't do any of that stuff. We just get a bunch of animals, buy a bunch of land, and float off into the middle of nowhere. That's what us aliens do. And that's why we're so close to those tree-hugging hippies and voodoo people. We're nothing like them. I've dated some of them. I'm nothing like them, but I have a less carbon footprint. A lot of people say, you know, the green energy and that type of stuff. I don't believe in all that stuff, but I do. I have a low carbon footprint for most of the stuff I do. A pointy roof and such. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the roof. I do, for the castle, I do over the house part, I want a solid roof, which will be concrete or rock or something of the sort. Because like I said, because of possible tornadoes, I want to make sure that I can bring animals in if possible and be safe. And that's another thing with the center courtyard. I will have kind of like a pyramid thing in the center of that as the roof, which will be the poly type plastic glass sheeting, so that way it's enclosed, so the center of the castle can be like a hot house year round. And somehow I got to figure out how I can open that for the summer so it's not too hot in there. I'll figure all that out. But the glass on the inside small square in between the house and the inside garden, all that glass, I remember when I watched all the different episodes of Doomsday Preppers, one of the Doomsday Preppers had some type of film put on all his windows all the way around the house, even the second story, and show that you could take a sledgehammer and a crowbar and bricks and rocks and nothing would break the glass. And I definitely want to look into getting something like that put on all that glass, so that way I won't have windows on the outside. I'll just have the door that will go into the castle, so I don't have to worry about anybody breaking in or anything like that from the outside. It will just be the door, and I'll have a reinforced door, so like I said, if a tornado comes through, the door won't be able to get yanked off or anything like that. It's going to be big lags in concrete and probably a big solid double oaked door or something like that, and then on the inside the glass looking into the center yard, the courtyard area, then I'll have that film or whatever put over the glass, so that way if limbs and stuff from trees go flying, it's not going to come flying through the glass into the house. And then I'll also have an emergency corner closet shelter, which will be cinder block walls or something like that with a solid door that I can go into in case of a tornado, just as another way of protection. But I think the way I over-engineer everything I've ever built, like my 2-story house and everything else I've built, I do more over-engineering than it calls for, and I'm going from wood to solid rock and concrete and everything else. So I think I'll definitely be good, along with the Gabion walls, the basket rock walls. I'm gonna have somewhere between 1 foot to 2 foot thick, and that's gonna have T-posts on both sides down in the ground, all wired together, anchored, filled with rock. So I don't think it's gonna go anywhere the way I'm gonna do everything. Hey Andreas, how you doing tonight? Watch the videos about the Jarrell, Texas tornado for ideas. Everybody always wants me to watch videos. I have way too much stuff to do, and the few things that I do watch, like my TV shows and stuff, is at night, and that's to help me wind down, try to give my mind a break. I got this alien intergalactic telepathy technology. It just pops in my head like my 2-story house. Never went to wood shop or building classes or anything like that in school, and I built a 2-story house. I lived in it for 8 years and sold it, and it's still standing. So I did something right. Yeah, I had people send me links all the time. I had people send me political stuff all the time. I get emails, text messages, phone calls. I've had YouTube people follow me in Chile and South America and different places, and Europe, that have called me and talked to me. So I keep busy between these videos and everything else, and that's another thing. Everybody always wants me to get drones and get a GoPro camera and edit my videos and all this type of stuff, and I'm like, I'm not a producer like these different YouTube channels. I mean, like the Crockers, I saw a couple videos of the Crockers, and Boss of the Swamp, who's my favorite, that I watch all his videos. All these people that edit, yeah, the videos look really, really nice. They're entertaining. You know, some of them script their stuff, which is perfectly fine, because that's, you know, what their channels are about. With me, I'm not a techie person. I don't have the time to sit on a computer for hours and cut here and paste there and add, you know, a spring sound or anything like that. This is just real life, what I do, how I do it, and that's what I'm really happy about out here on the homestead in Arkansas is I actually have reception that I can do live stream videos. Because as everybody knew, when I moved to ranch in Colorado, I had no reception, and it took 6-7 hours for one video to upload, and that was pain in the butt to try to keep this channel going. So I'm glad I can do all these live streams. They may not be the best sometimes, but it is what it is for now until I can get set up where I'm comfortable in a couple years, and then at that point I might start editing videos again, adding some music here and there, and doing that type of stuff. But for now, I've just got to do what makes it easiest for me, although we're all part of this journey, and I know you guys want more out of me than I can produce right now, but I've got to be stingy at this point and just do these live streams because I've just got so much stuff going on that it's hard for me to sit down and edit and everything else, especially now that I don't have electricity. I'm running a generator, so that costs a lot more money for the little bit of power I use. And like I said, I use that little bit of generator time in order to watch a couple TV shows, update my information and all that without worrying about spending $1,000 a month in gasoline to run a generator. So hold on, everybody's messaging. Yep, Andreas, I'm doing good. Just got the camels loaded today. I'm headed back to Arkansas, so I am definitely doing way better than good, especially when I get back to Arkansas. Let's see, Serenity. David is absolutely amazed that you built your own home. His eyes get so huge when you said that. Yeah, that was a task. If you go back, I started my channel in 2016, so I can't believe these 4 years have gone by this quick. But yeah, I built a 2-story house on my own, had a garden in my upstairs bathroom. My upstairs bathroom was 12 foot by 12 foot, and grew green beans, cucumbers, tomatoes, all different stuff. So that was, I definitely miss my 2-story house. And if it wasn't for me getting into animals and wanting this as my retirement hobby, I probably could have seen myself at that 2-story house forever, because it had great views, great neighbors, a great area, but without the water. That's why I moved, for the animals. And then of course I've gone ballistic with animals now. Do your own way. Will do, Andreas. I'll get back to try and do better videos when I can. Build a moat across the duck pond that you can raise up at night from your castle door. Oh, now you're trying to give me a lot more work, Pam. I've already got enough work to do. There's so many things I want to do. I want to build a root cellar out there. I want to get some barns for the animals built. I've got so much stuff to do. I learned to take what I get as a kid. Well, I appreciate that. I know I get some people that get upset with me, and I've had several people said they unsubscribed from that mandatory vacation video because just the thumbnail, they thought it said vaccines. And I had several people send me messages that they're unsubscribing from me and they're done with me because I went to one side politically. And for those of you that have watched me for these years, you know I don't get into politics. I don't get into any of that stuff because it's irrelevant. I just live my happy life with my animals in the middle of nowhere, whether it's Colorado or now Arkansas. You know, I could have been in upstate New York, which I'm glad I'm not in upstate New York, because now after being in Arkansas and coming back to Colorado these times in the snow, I am definitely glad that I'm out of the cold, out of the snow, because I've lived in Colorado for 14 years. And I never thought I was going to leave Colorado, but things happen, and I'm glad I did. I'm very happy with where I'm at in Arkansas, and I'll be putting some pictures up tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, of my gas station. They did a bunch of decorations. I didn't take photos of everything, but I got a good amount of photos up, good amount of photos of the decorations, and then I'll put them up on Facebook. So those of you that excuse me, follow me on Facebook, you can check those out and the other stuff that I post. So with that, if nobody else has any more questions, then I think I'm gonna go ahead and click off of here and just continue my long drive back home. And then I'll have a live stream video tomorrow for you guys at some point. I'll try to put up a notice beforehand so you guys hopefully get some type of notification from YouTube. If not, then you guys will just have to watch it on replay. So I appreciate everybody jumping in, throwing in their thoughts and ideas and comments and questions, because it makes it a lot better making these videos when I got people to talk to than just rambling on in my alien lingo. So with that, have a great night. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Stay safe. Adios.